This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's a bacon sale.
When the world seems to shine like you've had too much wine, that's a bacon sale. Can we say wine on this podcast?
Sure. That's what I do a lot.
You do. Well, yeah. I don't know if you whine. You get angry.
I just kind of rant.
Yeah, rant. It's not whining. It's ranting.
Well, hey, everyone. Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Kent.
I'm Joel.
And Jacob.
So that was kind of a weird intro, and it exists for a reason.
Because we are talking about Dean Martin songs today, everybody.
Oh, I thought we were talking about wine.
Oh, that too. We're ranking wine. And
I was going to rank
songs.
the Rat Pack, honestly.
Oh, wow. That'd be interesting to talk about the Rat Pack
there's
on
a couple
show.
guys out there somewhere.
Have you
Sammy
seen any of
Davis
the
Jr.
movies?
Yeah, probably not.
I have to say, having watched Ocean's 11 with the Rat Pack, I understand. Sure, they were cool back then, but it hasn't aged well.
Yeah.
But that's not what we're talking about today.
Okay, what are we talking about?
Well, Jacob, you want to tell us?
Oh, I was waiting. I don't even know. I just showed up. No, we're talking about pizza today.
Pizza?
Guys, we're going to rank national pizza chains.
Pizza in the morning.
And by rank,
pizza
I mean
in the
tier,
evening,
but it's sort of a ranking
time.
I hope people care about this because we just had our Saturday morning show, and I think it went really well. I think people liked it. Nostalgia was there. And then we're talking about pizza.
Well, and we want to say, yeah.
It's a very natural transition.
Well, let's just put it out there. Our fast food show is one of our most popular shows.
Strangely.
People really gravitated to that one. It's like episode 22 or something like that. Fast Food for Thought, I think is what it's called. And we took various chains from around the United States, put them in a tier. Tier 1 being the best, Tier 2 being middle, and Tier 3 being the worst.
It's kind of what we do.
And that's what we're going to do today.
Yes, so this has been something that's been in the works for a while now.
How long? Like 6 weeks? 2 months?
It's been months. It's been at least since...
It's been at least 3 months.
So we actually determined, listener, to re-eat all of these pizza places, like regardless.
Even if we already knew them, even if we were very familiar with them, we said, no, we need like a control pizza. And so we got a pepperoni pizza from almost all these chains we're going to talk about today. In fact, Jake, you want to run down the list real quick?
Yes, in alphabetical order, thanks to Joel.
That's what he does.
The pizza chains are 7-Eleven. Yes, that's right. We included 7-Eleven.
We did.
555. Chuck E. Cheese, Costco, Domino's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, Papa Murphy's, Pizza Hut, Pizza Pie Cafe, which you won't know if you're...
Anywhere outside the Mountain West.
Yeah, exactly. And Sam's Club, and finally, Sbarro.
It sounds like a terrible list.
True New York pizza.
Well, and you guys are out there. I know there's people screaming at us going, you forgot this, you forgot that.
Right.
Why are you including a gas station or a warehouse store?
The answer is we know.
We know. We had a list, and honestly, like if you look at the top 10 highest grossing pizza, or top 100 pizza companies, but we'll go to the top 10. It's Pizza Hut, Domino's, Little Caesars, Papa John's, Papa Murphy's, California Pizza Kitchen, which we didn't include because it's more of a restaurant than a fast
we're
food.
saving it for our casual restaurant show, obviously.
It's got Sbarro and Cece's, which there aren't many Cece's around here where we are. Chuck E. Cheese and Marco's Pizza, which I'd never heard of.
Basically, we looked for anything that we could find here locally that was like expanded beyond a few states.
And we wanted to make sure that it was like a chain, first of all, that it was more of a fast food, not a kind of a dine-in thing. Mm-hmm. And then we had to include Costco and Sam's Club only because we have things we need to talk about and air out and grievances and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that'll be the most controversial part of the show.
I think it's going to be.
Well, they're pretty prolific, though, honestly. I mean, they're everywhere. Like, Costco and Sam's is everywhere, and their pizza is everywhere. So we can't not talk about them, really.
So we know we didn't include some, and it's probably because we didn't have access to it or it didn't fit the criteria we were going for.
You know what? Look, I'm going to jump ahead real quick, but we went to Chuck E. Cheese. Like, we sacrificed a lot.
3 grown men.
It's not that, and we'll get there. I want to tell the story when we get there. But, like, yes, we didn't go to your favorite pizza place, your favorite local pizza place.
No.
So there's always the local that's your favorite.
But we went to Chuck E. Cheese.
Well, and
so
if I may rant for a minute.
Sure.
Because a lot of people will say, like, oh, I don't like those chains. I love this pizzeria down the corner from me. You've never heard of it, but they serve the best pizza ever. And I'm like, that's great. I'll probably never eat there because it's way over in another state that I'll never get to.
Right.
And so, but then
and you don't like hipsters. So
no, I hate them.
Okay. You kind of do.
Well, no, hipsters are fine. It's just when they do that attitude of like, I'm so much better than you because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, whatever.
I kind of like your hipster voice.
Thank you. But what I was going to say is a lot of these, when I was doing my research, because I did do pizza research, aside from just eating it.
Of course you did.
But I found that a lot of these places started as a local pizzeria pizzeria, and then they were popular, so they became a chain. And so people automatically disregard them because they're everywhere, but they're everywhere because they found something that works.
Disregard or not, if you need a quick fix for pizza, you're going to go to one of these chains.
Oh, totally.
And people do.
And they do. And it's the same thing that I complained about in the fast food show. It's like, people are like, I don't go to McDonald's. How dare you? And I'm like, they're making tons of money, so somebody's going to McDonald's, even though everyone says they're not.
Yeah, just go to Jim Gaffigan's routine, and you know you're going to McDonald's.
We talked about that last time.
Right.
So basically, we're defending ourselves before we even start our pizza rankings.
All right. Should we get started?
Well, the way it's going to work, Jacob, you're going to give us a pizza chain, and then Kent and I, and you, we're all going to tier it.
Well, mostly you guys. I'll just kind of weigh in because I did, for the most part, participate.
Yes, yeah, you were there for every time, so join in.
Yeah, and we did eat these largely together, too. Like, we would order the pizzas, and we'd switch off who paid for it. We all sit down, we'd eat it together, and we'd briefly discuss it.
The disgusting part is when we started this out, our situation was a little bit different, so we'd get 2 to 3 pizzas a week.
Yes.
And that's on top of accidentally getting pizza on a family night.
There was so much
and then
pizza.
work would bring pizza
Work bringing
in.
pizza. And so we kind of killed ourselves. Things changed. You know, I'm no longer with these guys. I died. And and so we've had to do
Kent's
pizza.
recording from heaven right now.
Oh, thanks for giving me the benefit of the doubt.
You're welcome.
Limbo, maybe.
Whoa.
Purgatory.
Take it easy.
Is there Jewish purgatory?
Do hipsters go to heaven?
That's a good title for a book.
Okay, can I call this show, Is There a Jewish Purgatory? Heaven would be purgatory for Jews because they feel so guilty about everything.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
So pizza. But no, we'd sit down, we'd eat the pizza, and so we went through this like constant pizza eating. And I was going to ask you two, before we get into it, sorry, are you sick of pizza? After we've been eating it pretty much weekly for months.
I'm not sick of pizza.
No way.
There was a day there when I had pizza like 3 days in a row, and I honestly felt sick. I couldn't eat it the third day. I'm done.
I actually
I'm done.
trained my body to want more pizza, I think. Because if I went more than 3 days without pizza, my body's like, what's wrong? Where's the pizza?
Give me sodium.
Well, and I have pizza every week anyway because we do pizza movie night on Friday nights with the kids, and they love that. And so, but I try to spice it up into a variety. But
I think from the ages of like 5 to maybe last year, I was like, pizza's my favorite food. If I went to a desert island, I'd eat pizza every day.
Oh, I know.
But the thing is, I don't know if I could.
No, but
I still love it.
I always said that though. I always said I would eat. They said if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be? And I'd be like pizza, because then I can change the toppings.
Yeah,
make it a dessert pizza. Make it like
why not a sandwich
pizza.
then?
Because that's complicated, Jacob.
A sandwich would be number 2 because there's so many options.
Well, they all end up.
They're just so many.
They all
options
end up being number
sandwiches.
2. Let's just face it, Kent. Woo! Potty humor.
Family friendly.
That's what we want to do on a pizza show. Potty humor.
All right, on that note, let's get started.
All right.
Yay.
And,
right.
Yes, there's one more thing we need to clarify. That Kent and I had to limit ourselves because a lot of these pizza chains can kind of mesh together all in the middle. But we made ourselves give 3 tier 1s. We're only allowed 3 tier 1s, 5 tier 2s.
Which is a lot.
It is. And then 3 tier 3s. So this way, I can't give a gold star to everyone, and Kent can't just make fun of all of them and hate all of them.
Right.
Well, he can't give them all a tier 2.
Yeah, they'd all be a tier 2 if we really think about it. Spoiler alert.
No, there's still some tier 3s.
So yeah, tier 1 there are. Tier 1 being the best, tier 2 being middle, and tier 3 being the worst.
All right, I'd like to start with one that we are eating today.
Oh, wow. We're going to start off with that one, huh?
There's not an easy one to start with.
Which this was your final one, right?
It is. It is. The one we have had today is Domino's.
If I may begin.
Please.
I am an alumni of Domino's. I worked there as a delivery driver for a few years.
How many years are we talking here?
3.5 years.
That's a good amount.
It was a decent chunk.
And I'm assuming during that course of 3.5 years of delivering pizzas, you encountered your fair share of weirdness.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're not getting into that.
I would
I was a delivery boy.
Can you give us like one story?
Yeah, maybe
or
a little bit.
There's like an idea, kind of a couple things that would be family friendly.
So, wow. Okay, let me edit real quick.
Yeah.
I went in thinking a lot of women would be in robes.
Right.
But the thing was, it was more men that were either in very short towels, like Motel 6s.
Oh, no.
Or just men in robes or without many clothes on. And I'm going...
And they just answer the door like that.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
No, it was a bit strange. And there were a lot of there was just weirdness all the way around. But, I went in kind of, and this is a whole different conversation about tipping, but I learned a lot about people and, their sociology based on how much they would tip and what area they were from.
Okay.
Because rich people don't tip.
Really?
It's the craziest thing. I think working at Domino's, I kind of had the edge because Domino's is pretty good pizza. I mean, if you're going to go to chain pizza, you have the Domino's guy come, and hopefully it's hot. We have the heat bags. They call them the heat wave.
Heat bags, great name for a band.
Heat bags.
We are heat
Want
bags.
your pizza in a heat bag. and so it would be relatively warm, and people were very kind. Sometimes people didn't tip. If there were women at the door, I would approach the door a little bit differently.
You'd flirt to convert.
Like how?
For example, if it was a nice old lady answering the
be
door.
a woman.
Oh, be an old lady.
Bing bong.
Done. Oh, hello.
Mother brain.
Mother brain. So I'd answer the door and I'd say, "Hi, how are you? Oh, I have your pizza here," and I would tell her exactly
Oh, you're
what.
so handsome.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, let's not go too far with this analogy, shall we?
Thank you, ma'am.
How tall you are.
Stop. This is going out of control so quickly.
I can make so many dirty pizza puns right now. And if you were, say you were a guy, you answering the door,
What's up, brah?
because that's so you.
Yeah, that's me all the way.
Be like, "Hey, how's it going? Hey, you got your pizza here. You just got the 2, right, with the breadsticks? Cool, I brought you some extra parm and peppers right here." And you'd be like, "Oh, cool. Boom, boom, boom. $3, right?"
Right.
So you're saying you'd appeal to the emotional for the women and the logical for the men.
Well, then if it was like cougars or younger women,
Oh, no.
it'd be a totally different approach.
No.
I'm not impersonating those.
Hello, nurse. No, I'd basically be like, "Hi, how's it going?" It would just be my inflection in my voice.
How are you doing?
How are you doing?
I'm the pizza man.
Oh, gosh, that is creepier than anything I've heard so far.
Kind of great. You want a job? But no, I learned a lot about tipping. Women did tip pretty well because of, me putting it on pretty thick.
All right.
But it worked
Pizza
out.
sauce, you mean?
And so I worked there for 3.5 years. And Joel, you've often said that if you can eat somewhere after you've worked there,
Yes.
that's a very good sign.
Yeah, good sign of a good restaurant.
Especially because you know kind of what happens with the ingredients before you put them on. Because sometimes like the freezer would break and stuff like that. And if it's just unsanitary.
Sometimes you'd drop a whole thing of sliced meat onto the floor and your boss would tell you to put it up and put it back in the bucket.
That happened.
That happened.
Quiznos, right?
I'm not mentioning which one.
Okay, yeah, I'll cut that
That's
out.
actually a really good job. No, it's fine. It's fine.
But I have to say, I would eat Domino's again. In fact, I typically prefer Domino's over most places. This is
Really?
a tier 1 for me.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Sorry,
Wow.
that was a long road to a short end.
we wanted
but
that. We
I was
wanted
going to
that.
say, having worked for him, I really wanted your insight, so I'm glad to get that.
Yeah.
All right, Joel.
Mine's a tier 2.
Tier 2.
It's a tier 2, and I'll tell you why, Kent. First of all, I wanted to mention that this has over 10,000 locations across the world. Or in the U.S., one of those. I think it's around the world.
It's around the world.
One or the other.
I put locations. I didn't say
It was strange
worldwide.
because in Australia, I couldn't find Pizza Hut, and it was mostly Domino's everywhere.
And from what I understand in my reading, like Pizza Hut is the biggest chain, where I think
is.
Domino's is the second biggest chain, if I remember right, because it has 10,000. But tier 2 for me, I typically think of Domino's as kind of a dry pizza. It seems drier to me, and it's a pizza that I cannot eat without a napkin. Not because it's greasy, but because the cornmeal they put all over it, and it gets all over my
cornmeal
hands.
is the big difference. They put so much cornmeal there.
They put a lot
Yeah.
of cornmeal in there, and I'm not a big fan of that. Also, their online service, I like the pizza. What do they call it? Pizza Planner, Pizza Maker. They show where your pizza's at in the process. That's great. But as I'm ordering, I'm always like, it always pops up with, "Hey, how about extra cheese?" Like a pop up, and I'm like, "No." And then it's like, "Hey, how about a dessert?" Another pop up, and there's like a little thing in the corner that says, "Close this
I don't
window."
want this item. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, "No, don't try to upsell me." Like, I want it much smoother and
They
cleaner.
just want your experience to be better. Like, if I may, I will say that, like, the things that are great about this place, like the cheese bread is great. The sandwiches are great. I think it's all the side items that you can get. The pasta is actually the bread bowls.
Yeah.
Probably going to kill you, but they taste great.
Well, and it's got a good variety. That thing is, they actually, if I may give the little history here.
Sure.
The 3 dots on the domino actually stood for the original 3 restaurants that they had. And as they got bigger, they changed the logo and they ended up taking out pizza from the name. So it wasn't Domino's Pizza, it's just Domino's because they offer sandwiches and pasta and chicken and all that different stuff.
Right. Can I ask what you guys think about the garlic crust on Domino's Pizza?
It's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I like it.
It is very good. In fact, so about 5 years ago, they decided to change Domino's entirely because nobody liked the pizza anymore.
Yeah.
It was just something, a remnant from the 90s. People thought it tasted like cardboard, like other pizzas on this list, which we'll get to. And so they changed everything. They changed the marinara. They changed the crust for sure.
Well, and they changed their marketing too because it used
Yes.
to be all about speed. Like they were ones who made it famous so that 30 minutes or less will get it there.
Yes.
And then they actually stopped doing that because there was a number of lawsuits because of reckless Domino's drivers. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
also, I was going to say, they did the 30-minute guarantee, but now they kind of got away from that. But now they're all about quality. Like, we were about speed. Now we're about quality.
Yes.
And I don't know if I'm a big fan of that, but it's fine. It's good pizza. But
And I have to say, for the price, like, you just look online and you'll see a special. Like, never, a rule with Domino's, never just call and order a pizza.
Right.
Call and say, what are your specials? Because they have to tell you their best specials. And then you get that. And you're spending maybe $14 on 2 pizzas.
yeah,
Like, that's just how it is.
Well, and I actually sign up. I have an account that I sign up for like all these coupon type things, and I have Domino's and Pizza Hut and Papa John's and Papa Murphy's like all coming into that and seeing their orders. I have to say their mailers need some improvement because they don't really say, "Hey, here's a special. It's going to be until this it expires in this time."
They're eternal.
It's like they have these 5 or 6 there, and I don't know. I'm not a big fan of that as much, but also their marketing. Do you remember the Noid, Kent?
I avoid the Noid. If possible.
Back in the 80s, late 80s.
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't remember the Noid?
I think I've heard you guys
There was a
mention it.
Sega
That's all.
Genesis game for the Noid.
Oh, yeah, and avoid the Noid.
Yes.
But you know why they stopped doing that?
Because it was a terrible stereotype?
What?
I don't know.
A stereotype
why else would
of
there
what?
be? Noids?
No, there was a guy on January 30th, 1989, Kenneth Lamar Noid, a mentally ill man who thought the ads were a personal attack on him, held 2 employees of an Atlanta Domino's restaurant hostage for over 5 hours.
What?
After forcing them to make him a pizza and making demands for $100,000, getaway transportation, and a copy of The Widow's Son, Noid surrendered to police. So everyone's fine.
What's The Widow's Son? Is that a book?
It's a series of books. It's like a trilogy or something like that.
He just couldn't find it. I mean, it wasn't the library.
Well, the thing is, they thought it was an attack on him, that the Noid was making fun of him. And then I thought it was funny because after he was arrested, the police chief offered this assessment to the reporters. He's paranoid.
What?
I don't think he meant that.
Stop that.
Well, I don't think he emphasized the Noid part of the paranoid, but he said paranoid. And I'm like, oh, bad choice of words there, pal.
What?
Turns
So
out it was true.
They actually got rid of the Noid. They got rid of the Noid shortly after because it just was.
We actually
bad
had
press.
a big giant Noid costume, and it was terrifying. Like, if you wanted to terrorize people, you could put
You had the Noid costume
yeah,
there still?
at the store.
Wow.
And it was, if you want to be a freaky rabbit
Why
man.
didn't you wear that on Halloween?
I put it on once, and I was covered in like 2 decades of other people's sweat. So, Jake, what do you think about Domino's?
Here's the thing. I don't know how much I want to get into the after effects of pizza.
We've already said number 2 on this show, but
Yeah, well, actually, 2 things. One, I like their pasta bowls actually way better than even their pizzas. Like, for whatever reason,
Yes.
like, when you take a bread bowl and then you put pasta in it. It's like carbs on carbs in sauce.
Yes.
I'm like, wow. Like, that crap is good. However, Domino's is the only one, without any question, every single time,
you have stomach issues.
there is stomach issues every time.
Really?
Yep.
But
And-
sometimes it's worth it.
and I do continue to eat it occasionally,
There's
but
one-
it has never stopped. My body has never adjusted.
There's this one on the list that actually did that to me. It's not Domino's, but I'll let you know when we get to
Okay.
that one. Let's get into our stomach issues, everybody.
Yep.
You want me to?
No,
If
no.
we're reviewing it honestly, it has to be part of it.
I know with Jake, like, I remember there was like a time a year ago when once a week you'd be getting Domino's.
What?
Yeah, I remember you'd be like, yeah, I got another sandwich. Yeah, I got another pasta bowl. Like, you were obsessed with the
No,
place for a while.
here's the weird thing, right? Is the pasta bowls and the sandwiches don't give me that effect. It's only the pizza that gives me
Okay.
the effect. So that's
So go
why,
for the side items.
Right.
Yeah.
So Kent, you gave it a tier 1.
Tier 1.
I gave it a tier 2.
It'd be lower tier 1.
So it's tier 1.
We're going with lower and upper now.
No,
Is that
we're
what
going
doing?
tier 1.
No,
So
you
go tier
guys,
one.
you have a ranking. I know you have a 1 to whatever there is.
I do.
ranking.
I do.
We can get into that
I have
again.
a pizza matrix.
No, it's tier 1.
Oh, the other thing about Domino's I have to say too is they are a little overpriced. I know you said the deals thing, but like for example, when I can get I got the 2 medium pizzas for $12, like $5.99 each. They're smaller pizzas.
They're 12 inches.
They're smaller pizzas.
They're medium pizzas.
I know, but larges on here, like $14 or 14 inches is the standard size for a large. And they were one of the more expensive large pizzas at $12.99 is what Domino's was.
Well, you're actually wrong. If you just call and say, what are your specials, you can get a 2-topping large at $8.99 or $9.99.
So
Kent
for
knows.
Specialty,
Kent knows,
$9.99.
but the general public are going to be paying too much for
Oh,
Domino's.
general public should be cheap with every one of these places.
Tenderness.
I think Little Caesars is the only place where you don't say, what are your specials?
Do they have specials?
They do. They do. They actually do.
That's crazy.
All right, let's not spend as much
Crazy
time on
bread.
all these. We're giving
All right.
a lot of time to
All right, next one. You guys ready?
Yes.
Costco.
Costco. I'll go first on this one. Costco is a tier 2. It's first of all, it's huge, and you get it's $1.99 for a huge slice of pizza. It's very, very tasty. And I like the way the crust is good. They have the options of the peppers and the Parmesan there, which you guys like, I know. It is a very greasy pizza.
Very greasy.
And they only have the 3 varieties of cheese, the works, and pepperoni. So I always get the works and end up picking off the onions and peppers sometimes. But I like it. It's a tier 2. This is one I could go for almost any day.
Like when you go somewhere and a Polish dog is the only thing on the menu, or like a chicken bake, which is just a really long churro with sliced chicken in it.
They're getting more and more each day.
Come on.
They are. They have sandwiches now.
Their sandwiches are
chili and
it's we're getting into a lot of after effects here.
But it's a tier 2 for me.
It is a tier 2, but a pizza, like when I go, I'm like, oh, this all looks pretty terrible. And I'll get a slice of oily pepperoni pizza. And the thing is, I'm okay with it. Mm-hmm. You put at least like 5 napkins on the top,
right,
and you just let it soak in
for about an hour.
Because for $2, it's a good it's a good slice.
It is.
Isn't it $1.50?
No, that's the Polish dog.
Polish dog combo.
Which I've always felt like the Polish dog was not enough food, and the pizza was not enough food. But if I put them together, it was way too much food.
That's too much. Actually, I found the perfect formula for getting full at Costco.
Okay, let's hear it. I'm ready.
And it doesn't. Usually, we try to get samples, and that will help.
Yes.
Good supplements there.
Subsidizing our lunch.
If you get the slice of pizza and a churro, you're good.
Okay.
Like that will fill you up.
Well, and I love the pizza too because, first of all, by the way, it's $10 for an 18-inch pizza. Like, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
It's a huge pizza. But I like it because I can get one slice of pizza and cut it up between my children and feed them for about a week.
No.
I don't feed my kids much.
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
Wow.
But it is kind of weird. The selection is really, really low. So it's cheese. It's the standards.
Yeah, they have the other ones that you can take and cook. And actually, their meat pizza was like a bacon and sausage and all that on it. It's very good, but you can't just get it in there. You have to go buy it and take it home and bake it.
I mean, the problem with eating in any of these bulk stores is that they're generally flies. They're generally just dirty people sitting right next to you because the tables are so small.
This isn't Sam's Club.
The tables are terrible.
They're
the same
much
tables.
the same. They are the same tables, but only at Costco, they're together. At Sam's Club, you can actually sit by yourself.
They're spread out because a bunch of loners.
Costco, you're like, hey,
Costco, they have the umbrellas too on the top for some reason, even though you're indoors.
It makes me feel feel fancy.
It makes you feel with the plastic umbrella above you.
Yeah.
It's a tier 2.
All right, so we're both agreed on that. High five.
Yep. Yeah, it's a tier 2.
High five. That was a weird high five.
Wasn't that weird?
Well, I just hit high. Never mind.
It was weird for me.
All right.
Pizza Hut.
Are you marking these off as you go?
I am.
Good, because I'm not.
Jake, you start us off on this one.
Pizza Hut.
You know, I actually worked at Pizza Hut when I was 16.
Did you?
What?
I did. Yeah.
No, you didn't.
You make
I
stuff
did.
up all the time.
Why haven't you told us like anything about your life ever?
Don't worry about it.
It really throws me off.
By the way, 698 locations of Costco. And Pizza Hut, 11,139.
Yeah. It has more locations than anyone, right?
And it also makes $13.4 billion a year.
Mercy.
And it's also owned by the same company. The facts here.
What are we like?
It's also
backing
owned
each
by the
other
same
up?
company that owns Taco Bell and KFC.
Yeah.
Yum Brands.
Yum Brands. Terrible name. So, Pizza Hut. Like I said, I worked there for a while. The thing I really picked up, and this is a tip for anyone eating Pizza Hut stuff, and you can get this if you go to like Megaplex or somewhere else where you have like, Pizza Hut options.
Right.
You get their cheese bread. You ask for double cheese. Like that's it.
What?
Yes. It's seriously so good.
Cheese bread with double cheese.
That's it. It's just cheese sticks, actually. They call it cheese sticks.
Yeah.
So cheese sticks, double cheese, and I mean you can put on little flavoring things and whatever. And with marinara, it's just outstanding.
Outstanding?
No, it's outstanding.
Or like good because I'm hungry and I'm at a movie.
No, let me tell you what though.
When
Like,
the option's popcorn or cheesy sticks.
I stopped eating these like years ago because I don't even know how many calories it is. But like when I was 18, I didn't have
7 calories.
7.
I didn't have to eat for like a day and a half right afterwards.
And yet you did.
But yeah, so their pizza's really greasy, but I think it's pretty okay. It's a tier 2.
Okay.
Oh, that almost sounded like a tier 1 for a
did.
little bit there.
No, it's not a tier 1.
Okay.
It's they're not very good in comparison to better things. But no, because it's standardized. It's made for low income demographic. That's what that pizza is. It's like, here is really cheap pizza that you can stuff your face with, high calorie, high carbs, high fat, enjoy.
You should
That's
be
on
a
the
marketer.
commercial.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Enjoy, I guess.
All right, who's next?
It's a tier 2. it is one of the big places. And it may be blasphemy to say that Pizza Hut is a tier 2 because pre-1995, this was a tier 1.
Do you guys remember when it used to be like the place to go and you get like, you'd sit down?
You mean when they had the buffet?
I thought that was just because I was a kid, right? They actually changed, do you think?
They did change a lot. They don't do as many.
It wasn't just this memory that you made up.
That's really what I thought, yeah.
I remember going there and getting the Back to the Future glasses. That was really cool.
Right. As a child, this was the place to go because remember Book It?
Yes. They still do Book It.
What?
Yeah, my daughter gets. They're the ones who are doing it. My daughter still gets Book It.
Do they do it for adults?
I don't think
because I would read books,
but maybe I'll have to give it to.
I remember that too.
My daughter loves to read. My 8-year-old daughter loves to read, and she gets all these coupons all the time. And we've had so many expire. Don't tell her. But maybe I'll give you.
You're
one.
actually robbing her of a good experience because she could get a star on her Book It badge.
I'm robbing her of heart disease.
Probably. But I remember they even had like solid toys back in the day. I remember Land Before Time gimmick they had for a little bit.
The cups. Remember the glass cups?
Oh, yeah.
The decorative cups.
But after like 1995, they got rid of all their buffets. Mm-hmm. They just became this place that would cook. It's basically carnival food at this point. You get a pizza and dough, and you dip it in a deep fryer.
Oh, no.
You pull it out, and you have Pizza Hut pizza.
Yeah, that's about right.
They're pan pizza.
Even for our test pizza, we got a hand tossed. We did not get their regular.
Yes.
And it still was it had the brownie effect. And I thought the Pizza Hut pizza, more than any other pizza, tasted like a thick brownie. Like I had to chew through the Pizza Hut pizza.
Well, but some people like that pan flavor and things like that.
Yeah, they do. I mean, if you
because
really
it's
want
grease.
The grease.
I will say. Did you give it a tier? You said
it's tier 2.
Yeah.
So I'm also a tier 2. Jacob, this is actually one I used to get sick every single time I would eat Pizza Hut.
This is the one?
Yeah, this is the one. But it would get me nauseous. Like after it was over, I would get nauseous. And then once I realized I could change the crust from the pan crust to the hand tossed, I was able to handle it much better.
Yeah.
And I do like the strides they've been making lately about, you could do the fancy crust now, like the pretzel crust or the garlic crust. And then,
right now there's bacon cheese.
Yeah, and then they do the
hot dogs. That's a point against them.
I did the hot dogs one, actually. I ate that pizza.
Yes, you did.
The little hot dog bites. With the hot dog bites in the crust.
That is
and
horrifying.
You pull those off and you just dip them off. It was like pigs in a blanket, and then you have a pizza without a crust. It was weird, but it wasn't
horrifying.
Gross.
Horrifying. Jake's right.
So yeah,
I would say all of their sides actually keep them in the running and make them a tier 2 because they have so many sides because they know they're kind of losing the game with pizza.
Well, and they do that. That's the thing is they try to remarket themselves similar to Domino's,
Right, with wings.
where they start to do the wings and
Yes.
then all that other stuff. But they also do that drizzle, the sauce drizzle,
Yeah.
which actually is pretty good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So I enjoy that.
But it's tier 2.
It is tier 2. But it is the first pizza to ever be delivered to space in 2001.
Oh, yeah?
They sent a frozen pizza up to the International Space Station. They cooked it and ate it up there.
How many billions of dollars did that cost, I wonder?
I don't know.
Did Pizza Hut foot that bill?
The Martian 2. Matt Damon's hungry.
If only.
Send him a pizza.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut's on the case. All right.
$10.99 for a 14-inch pizza here, as opposed to
Actually, the price isn't as good either.
Well, remember, they did that deal, it was, a year or two ago? It was $10, any pizza, any toppings, right?
Well,
and that got a lot of people back, I think.
I feel like a lot of the pizza places are trying to play catch up with Little Caesars and the dollar menu mentality of value. So they're trying their best to do that. But Pizza Hut, actually, their coupons are kind of fun. They're mostly, free
You
sides and
sound
whatever.
like such a mom right now.
Well, no, but
Their coupons are fun.
This is an expertise I'm bringing to the table, much like your Domino's employment. They actually have this one where it's kind of like a wheel, and you click on it and see how much percent you get off. And I've gotten like 40% off or 50% off sometimes, and I'm like, you got me, deal. I will order from you tonight because, like I said, I order pizza every week.
Yeah.
So tier 2.
And then you also cut it into squares and make the kids only eat a portion.
Here's your
They separate
ounce of pepperoni.
the toppings from the bread.
Yeah.
You only get half it tonight.
No, it's nice because every week I try something different with my kids so that they don't start ordering the pizza. Like I still am in control. And so I'll order these weird things just to try it out, and then the kids deal with it.
Sure.
That's the way
And
it
they
should
learn.
happen.
Yeah, because
Your parents could go crazy trying to satisfy all the kids'
I
demands.
know. It's like, I just want cheese. And I'm like, I'm not ordering a cheese pizza. That's a waste of money.
Do you ever get mad if the kids are like, we need ham and pineapple? I'm like, bleh.
Yeah, you know my feelings about pineapple. And they know Daddy doesn't order pineapple. So I ordered it for my daughter's birthday when she wanted it for her birthday.
Do you have a
party.
sign in the kitchen wall that says "Daddy doesn't eat pineapple" and you just point to it?
I should have a shirt that says that.
Okay.
yeah.
Well,
Okay.
that sounds creepy. Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. Here's your pizza.
Here, just take my money and go.
Anything is creepy with that voice. That's all that comes down to. Okay, next one. Now, this is the local one. But they had like 15 locations. I'm talking about Pizza Pie Cafe. They're in Idaho. They're in Utah. Arizona? Nevada, something
somewhere
like
around
that.
there.
Yeah,
They're
They're
say
expanding.
Mountain West.
For those of you who don't know, it's a pizza place. It's like an all-you-can-eat pizza buffet, but they also have pasta and salad. That's it, right? Pasta and salad and dessert pizza.
And dessert,
Yes.
yeah. And let us explain, we have a lot of experience with this place, more so than we ever want to admit.
We did an eating challenge actually
We
there,
did.
where we had to try to eat a giant pizza in like a half hour and
20 minutes. Wait,
Was it?
30 minutes.
Oh, was it 30?
I think it was
Oh.
30 minutes, and we almost died. No one did.
I feel like they make 3 different kinds of pizza. They make the giant one that's gross.
Oh, it was terrible.
For the challenge.
It was terrible.
They do the regular one if you just order like a pizza, which is actually not bad.
No.
And then they do the buffet pizza, which is just like overcooked under a heat lamp pizza that has been sitting there for a while. But the buffet is the way to go. I mean, it's typically $6,
something like that. And they send so many coupons out and messages about,
which is
text
why we
messages.
went like once a week.
Which is
for
why
like a
it's
whole
typically
year.
$6.
They're like, hey, it's $5 for pizza for all you can eat buffet today, and we're like, yes, please.
Yeah, well, it's a deal because, like you guys mentioned, they have a salad bar, and they actually have a pretty solid salad bar.
Yes.
And they have a pasta bar, which pretty much no one else has, and it's quite good. In
Well,
fact,
yeah.
the pasta bar is what brings me back.
Well, and the pasta is good because then you can jump between the pasta and the salad and the pizza, but also you can order a pizza fresh. Like they have a customer request where you can say, I want this, this, and this, and then you get a nice fresh pizza. And then they have dessert pizzas, which are also very tasty.
Yes.
So the variety is really good on this.
And garlic knots and whatever comes with
It's not
it.
about this. This is more quantity than quality
It
because
is.
you can try so many different things. So I'm going to give it a tier 2 because it's not the best pizza, but you can find something you like.
Right. Like I think if you go, you will be full by the time you leave. It's
Yes,
a
you will.
buffet.
Yes.
And if you don't like pizza, just get a salad and pasta.
Yeah.
And it's still worth it.
Because
$6.
as for the pizza, there's no sauce on any of these pizzas. I've actually
Barely.
looked. I've lifted the cheese and looked for sauce.
Yeah.
And it doesn't exist.
It's just kind of like a seasoning they put on there pretty much.
Marinara
Firefighter
seasoning.
Rick.
Exactly.
They also really do good with gluten-free, too. And gluten-free pasta and gluten-free pizza. And Domino's does it, too, but every time my wife eats Domino's,
you
she
get the
gets
cross-contamination probably.
Yeah, she gets a little sick there, but yeah, tier 2 for me.
but yeah, just like you, tier 2.
Tier 2?
Tier 2.
All right, we're all in agreement. Wow,
Which is funny because there have been times where we've left Pizza Pie Cafe and we've been like, we're not going back there for at least 3 months.
Well, you guys.
And
are
then we
bad.
go back in like a month and we're like, oh yeah, Pizza Pie Cafe, how's it going?
I can't ever say
I went
that
6
because
months or so without going once, so yeah,
Really?
that was something.
Proud of you.
Yeah. All right, next one. 7-Eleven.
So
Why are we laughing
I
right
love
now?
the cackles.
Because this isn't a chain, and it's a chain of gas stations basically.
Well, it's the world's biggest chain.
amazing Slurpees, but we saw these signs.
They're known for great Slurpees.
They are.
They're usually just watered down
Best.
anyways.
Slurpees are better than ices any day. But so we kept seeing these signs of like $5.55 pepperoni pizza, hot and ready now, or it's free, or I don't know what they said, but essentially we just kept seeing.
That's what
these
the guy
signs.
just said, the cashier. Hey, it's free. Take it.
Yeah, we should probably tell our experience of the cashier when we went in.
Yeah,
And I think that's what we're missing is there were some experiences with these places.
yes, but I don't think any we've talked about yet, or we've been generic.
I'm a little bit. It's just like ordering online and if that was easier.
Yeah,
or
like
not.
eating challenge we
Okay.
talked about.
But we got the pizza. These guys got the pizza. They brought it back here, and we ate it. And I don't know if we're all going to agree, but I think it tasted just like a frozen pizza, like one of the ones you get in the freezer, pop it in the oven, eat it. It wasn't bad per se, but it definitely wasn't good.
It's kind of weird when you get there because there's actually a decent selection. And they're the pizza in the wraps. And at that point, they're refrigerated. They were maybe once frozen.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all just sitting there. And they actually don't look awful. And they're big. And
They don't.
they're $5.55.
Right.
Probably cheaper if you get a big gulp on the side. And the thing
Which
is,
you did.
Jake and I went. And the guy, I mean, I can't even.
it's hard to even describe. Nervous tics, kept walking back and forth, and he couldn't quite figure out what was going on, and it was just the most awkward experience ever.
Well, I mean, there's a difference when you go to like a regular.
Ever?
No.
I was going to say, I think we have another one on here that may top that.
I mean, it doesn't compare to the time that Kent came to my house in the middle of the night, but this was way up there.
what just happened?
Sorry. You're supposed to keep that between us.
Sorry.
Brought you big gulp.
Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. You got creeped out of your own sayings. The way you said it. Okay.
I think we just found the title for this episode.
Okay. So, it's kind of weird when you go to like Pizza Hut or Little Caesars or something like that. You know you're going to get like some variation of a pothead making your pizza.
Probably.
But you trust them
Yeah.
because it's routine. They do it all the time.
Right.
They wash their hands and everything. But when you
That's what we look for in pizza making.
you can't expect the best.
no.
Yeah, it's 7-Eleven.
No,
When
go
you
to
go
7-Eleven.
to 7-Eleven and you have some tweaked out guy wondering if he should make your pizza, even when you ask him to make your pizza.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah. He's like, hey, you just want to take us home? You want to take us home? Or you can take it home. It'll cook in 15 minutes, or I can cook it right here. It's 3 minutes.
2 minutes. 2 minutes. I can cook it for you in 2 minutes. I'm like, 2 minutes? Are you sure?
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2
Hydrate
minutes.
level
We'll have
4,
this pizza
please.
cooked in 2 minutes.
And we're like, okay, so we had to hang out in 7-Eleven for 2 minutes, which is probably a minute and 40 seconds too long.
Right.
And he kept looking at us, talking to us, talking about our pizza. Like when we actually got the pizza and just ran out of there, like it was a huge relief.
And by most awkward experience ever, I'd probably say the second most awkward 7-Eleven experience.
Yeah, there was one with a guy that had like one button done on his shirt, and the hair
and it was at
just
his belly button, and
no.
and it was chest hair.
This is the guy working there?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was working there, and he really liked Kent. And I think he had like a gold chain or something, too.
did.
Yeah.
I'm picturing Carl from that Adult Swim show. I can't remember that right now with the hamburger and the French fries. I can't remember it.
You know, on the plus side, I got to say that we joked with everyone. We're like, we're going to 7-Eleven to get a pizza. We came back, we each ate a slice, and we didn't die.
I didn't feel great
No,
after
no
it.
one died.
I didn't feel great after it. I'll admit that.
Comparing it to frozen food, though, or frozen pizza.
It was a frozen pizza.
I don't know. I think that's kind of generous, actually. Like, I would take a DiGiorno type pizza anytime.
That's what I.
Yeah.
It's a tier 3.
Tier 3.
Tier 3.
High fives all around.
That was terrible high five sound effect.
That's what the sound here.
It's a weak symbol.
Like pineapple.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
It's so creepy.
all right, moving on.
Okay. Next one, Papa John's.
Papa John's, 4,700 locations, and a 14-inch costs $13.50.
The problem with Papa John's, and I'm going to start there, is that you cannot walk out of Papa John's without probably spending $30.
You may not.
Okay, do tell.
Papa John's is great with promotions.
Okay.
They give constant emails on various days. They have like a Web Wednesday. It's automatically 25% off. They have Monday Mania.
Man, I'm calling you next time.
You
If you use the app, if you put in like Visa 25, it's 25% off anytime, all the time.
Well,
Cool.
and also they do a thing where if the Jazz win, the next day pizza's 50% off.
Really?
And they're doing that now with.
So it's, not on sale very much.
You
Is
have
that
to
what
eat
we're
it
saying?
on- you have to eat it on-
Slam against the
Oh,
Jazz. Sports stuff. Sports joke.
I mean, Joel, if you'd agree, I think you have to eat kind of on their schedule is what happens because they have these promotions where it's like, it's too expensive to eat.
No.
Oh my gosh, I have to go get it now.
No, that's because I never pay full price for Papa John's because these promotions, and they know how to do it well. They'll give you a coupon, and it's good to like through the end of the week. And so I'll be holding on to coupon. I am holding on to a coupon right now for Friday because I know that I'm going to have that on Friday.
Do you have a club that you go to, like a coupon club?
No, I have an email that I sign up for all these deal places, and all the coupons go there.
Do you guys like meet together
Yes,
and do the
that's-
chants?
But and also they have the rewards.
It's like a
program
swap. It's a
where
swap meet.
Yeah.
After a certain amount of pizzas, you get rewards. Domino's does it too, but I don't think they're as good. The rewards don't accumulate as quickly. But Papa John's is great, and I rarely pay full price because it is expensive.
I'm always impressed about what they'll actually make into a specialty pizza because their specialty line is just insane, right?
It is.
I mean, I looked last night and it was like the Malibu cheeseburger pizza.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks really disgusting, but good on you.
Yeah.
Like, way to be
We'll try
American,
it.
Papa
Yeah.
John's.
Might as well try it. By the way, in January 2002, Papa John's became the first national pizza chain to make online ordering available to all of its U.S. customers. So they kind of led that trail. And I have to admit, I love ordering online with Papa John's. So easy.
It is easy.
And
their app is too.
Domino's is probably second. Maybe Pizza Hut second. Then Domino's has third because they're stupid pop-ups. But
Okay.
this is a tier one for me.
I love how Papa John's, they do the basically butter sauce. They call it garlic.
The
but
garlic
it's-
butter.
It's butter. And you dip your pizza in the butter.
I love it.
And then they
Jeez.
have the pepperoncinis.
Yeah, the pepperoncini in the side there. It's actually really spicy too. Like it's not just an easy banana pepper. It's a pepperoncini.
Yeah, but
Pepperoncini? How do we say that?
we were just talking to a friend right before the show started, Jesse, and he said that he orders about 5 pepperoncinis because they taste better than the pizza. And that's probably true.
No, this is the king of pizzas right now in my mind. This is the one that everyone orders, and that's why people are getting sick of it because everyone orders it because it's good pizza.
It is good pizza.
And in fact, they have some bad blood with Pizza Hut because back in the day they made some ads that would compare our ingredients are better than Pizza Hut, and so Pizza Hut like sued them and said better or fresher ingredients doesn't equate to better pizza, and they had to kind of alter.
You don't
their
mess with the
ads.
king. But I will say it's so much better than Pizza Hut.
The king or the hut?
The Hut.
The hut.
I will say their breadsticks are the weakest, probably on the whole list.
Get the garlic knots.
Oh, yes. I was just going to say that. The
garlic
garlic
knots?
knots are awesome.
Yeah, you don't get the breadsticks. You get the garlic knots.
Because they're basically just long stalks of bread.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
garlic knots.
Yes. Those are
Okay.
very good.
That's what to get there, but I agree. And they
No,
have,
but yeah.
Oh, that was good. Go
I will
ahead.
say tier 1.
Tier 1, you're tier 1?
Yeah,
too?
even with my complaints, it's tier 1.
Well, and they have the variety too, where they actually offer wings Although I wouldn't recommend getting them there. I'm not a big fan.
The wings are terrible.
They're not that good.
No, in fact, I'm glad you brought that up because I nearly forgot. Their wings are hideous.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't say
Yes.
hideous, but they're not good.
Because at Pizza Hut and Domino's, they're pretty
They
good.
are.
yeah,
They're
and that's why
slimy and weird.
You expect it better. I actually got Little Caesars wings once, but I'll talk about slimy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
But but no, I wouldn't recommend getting the wings, but they're there, and they have the cookie, which is really good.
And by not recommending, he means do not get those wings
Unless they have a really
from
good
Papa
coupon.
John's. No, even with the coupon, it's not
So
worth
tier
it.
one.
Tier 1.
There we go.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Awkward
we just gotta do that
high-fives.
once.
Jill's doing this, raise the roof like
Slap
a mom
hands.
in church.
Slap hands. All right.
All right.
So you've used one of your tier. I've used one of my tier.
I've
ones.
used tier 2 ones.
what tier 2 ones?
He has Domino's and
Domino's and
tier 2
yeah,
ones.
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Little Caesars.
Jacob, why don't you go first in this one?
Now, I was swayed against Little Caesars for years. I literally went probably 15 years without any Little Caesars.
Which they've made a lot of changes.
I feel like everyone needs a sabbatical from Little Caesars.
Well, I think everyone has an impression of what Little Caesars was.
That's what I had. I had an impression as a kid. This is what Little Caesars was. I had it, and I was like, ugh, this just isn't very good.
By the way, 4,000 locations worldwide and $5 for a 14-inch large.
Yeah, so I had to eat it for the show, and I was nervous and afraid, and I did it. So, but I also got the regular, the one Joel just mentioned, the $5. But then I also got what they had deep dish stuffed crust.
bacon
No,
wrapped.
I got the bacon.
I did
wrapped
not
for
get
us.
the bacon wrapped.
No, I got that when I got it. When I brought it here for us to try out.
I had it then, yes.
Yes.
But separate from that, I had the deep dish and was genuinely impressed. Like, it was good.
Yes.
I knew it was terrible. Like the quality of the food, I could eat it. The quality was very low, and I was enjoying the heck out of it. Like, it was good. I was
What are you
blown.
saying right now?
My mind was blown away. So even though this isn't going, it's easily, in my mind, the best bang for the buck. Like, as far as value goes.
In terms of any sort of food place out there, Little Caesars knows what to do in terms of value.
I feel
Yep.
like a lot of people are trying to play catch up to that now because I think a lot of
Thank goodness.
the public is saying, "Hey, I can get a really cheap pizza here," and everyone's like, "No, we can do cheap pizza," but they can't get as low as Little Caesars.
Yeah. Like, how can they?
And the hot and ready concept, too.
7-Eleven can't even get as low, and it's not as good.
Right.
Yeah. And that's the thing is, but the hot and ready thing is just great too.
It
where
is.
You just need a pizza, boom, you get a pizza.
1 minute away from my house, there's a drive-through Little Caesars.
Right.
And so people just drive through and say, "Yep, 2 pepperonis. Yep, pepperoni pineapple." And that's what they
It's
do.
tempting.
Yeah.
Like, that's genuinely tempting.
No, especially when I have the, I'm like, hey kids, we're going to have a movie night sort of thing. Let's get pizza really quick. I don't want to
Yeah.
order it, wait 30 minutes. I just go through the drive-through, get a pizza, and we're good.
It's super easy.
So if I have another few months of good experiences with Little Caesars, it would be a tier 1. However, since I've had just like this very, very brief, we'll call it the Little Caesars reawakening. Okay. It's going to have to stay as tier 2 for now.
Fair. That's fair.
Caesars reawakening,
Yeah.
he says.
Yeah.
By the way, do you guys know the pizza thing? Their little slogan. Do you remember why they called it pizza?
No.
Because it used to be
Because they sell pizza?
in the early '80s. I think even to the late '80s, they had it where it was 2 pizzas on one platform. It was a long, skinny package with 2 pizzas.
That's
in
what I
it.
remember as a kid.
So you get pizza.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of bizarre. to
One
remember that.
thing I love about this place is that they don't have a lot of toppings. Honestly, there are very few, but like what they have can be done well. For example, I typically just get a bacon pizza, a breakfast bacon pizza. And
For
of
breakfast?
Course, no, come on. Cold pizza the next day. And it is delicious. If you can get a fresh pizza from this place, which we actually did when we did our test pizza.
Yes, it was fresh.
And I was shocked because, granted, once again, they have the cornmeal issue. They've got the cardboard crust, which is kind of the stereotype. But I'll say it'll feed you.
Yeah,
And you
It'll
won't
satisfy.
you won't be unhappy.
And the bacon wrapped crust, and they have the stuffed crust. Like they're trying new things, but the hot and ready's just a go-to.
And I have to say that crazy bread is the best thing that we could ever talk about on this list.
You're going to say this, and I know you're going to say, is get it well done, extra crazy.
Even if you don't get it extra crazy well done, but because you don't think that exists.
Well, because I went to a store, because Kent's like, that's what you got to do. Those 4 words, well done, extra crazy, will change your life. Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. And then I went there. I went to a place. I was like, I'm going to try this. I went there and I said, can I get it well done, extra crazy? And the guy looked at me like I was from Mars. Then he brings in his manager and he's like, do we do well done, extra crazy? And she was like, I know we can do extra crazy. And they looked at me and I'm like, I'm good. Never mind.
I know. Well, then it
So,
becomes an issue.
I did it. It worked.
Yeah?
Yeah. Kent has only said it like 800 times.
You're lying, is what you're saying?
You're basically making this up.
It's not the grandma story. they cook it twice.
You admit you made it up.
No, they double coat it. It is amazing. But even without that, I mean, you can get a crazy combo for $3 plus a side of crazy bread for another $1. You're walking out with a full family meal for under $10.
Yeah.
This is an absolute tier 1.
Tier 1.
Tier 1.
Good.
Well, you can send your hate mail to kentdunn@baconsale.com.
Little Caesars.
He just gave Little Caesars a tier 1, and so did I.
Yeah. On top.
Seriously?
Right.
Wait, you gave a tier 2. Don't
I know, but I'm happy for you both.
Little Caesars, for what you pay and what you get, it is good. And while it's not like the best quality pizza, it's good pizza and it satisfies. Like my wife, actually, she eats gluten free. She's got a celiac thing or a gluten tolerance thing going on, but she misses Little Caesars pizza. And if I may tell,
misses it?
She misses it.
Okay.
Her and her sister talk about how they miss gluten. They miss Little Caesars pizza because they don't have gluten free. But if I may tell a quick story, I was walking home one day from church with a group of friends, and we were walking along and we see this white bag sitting in the middle of the road. And we walk over, and it's a Little Caesars Crazy Bread bag. And it's in the middle of the road, and it was stapled shut. What would you guys do in the situation as 12-year-old, 11-year-old, 10-year-old boys?
I'd open it.
Go tell my mom.
We opened it, and it was still warm, and I think it was even a fast Sunday. We enjoyed delicious Crazy Bread on our walk home.
That's weird.
That's super weird. It was stapled shut. They don't do that.
No, they used to staple it shut. Like they roll it up and then staple the top. When they're delivering, you don't do that with yours?
Sounds suspicious.
How do you keep it all in there? No, it was like it fell off the back of a pizza truck, is what we thought.
That's so shady.
What's the sequel to this?
Did you guys wake up and you had like stitches on your abdomen?
We were all drugged for a bit, but we made it home, and no, it was good. But I remember thinking that
So you never
Crazy
told
Bread
anyone someone just lost a bag of pizza
on the middle of the road. So it was just the road in the neighborhood, and we ate it, and it was delicious. And
That's his version of Stand By Me. Joel finding a dead body. Joel found Crazy Bread.
You guys want to see some abandoned Crazy Bread?
He's actually been abducted, Joel.
Exactly.
They've been tracking you since.
This is a tier 1.
All right, what's next?
Sam's Club.
All right, let's fly through this one.
Yeah,
It's Sam's Club.
Sam's Club is one that Jacob had a lot of faith in, and Jacob tried to talk up to us. And we went there, learned that Kent was going to be a priest, and then we had pizza. And
That's true.
first of all, they didn't know how to work the register, which was kind of embarrassing. And then we got our pizza, and I have to say I was not impressed. $8.99 for a large here. I just wasn't impressed. I thought the sauce was too tomato-y. I thought the toppings were kind of cold and kind of gross, frankly. And I ended up giving half of my slice to Kent because I was done.
It was a bad experience because typically it's equal with Costco, but this time we went. It was 30-minute-old pizza, and it was basically meat eater pizza, and it wasn't great.
No, it tasted like school pizza, like cafeteria pizza. And so I'm sorry, Jake, but I have to give this a tier 3.
You know, I knew he was going to do that because Joel doesn't have a lot of experience with Sam's Club pizza, and it's understandable.
I've been there a couple times.
If that's basically the experience, that was a tier 3 experience for sure.
Yes, it was.
But the trouble is I've been there dozens of times, and I like it a little better than Costco pizza. And by a little, I only really mean a little. I like that tomatoey sauce. Mm-hmm. Like I think that's better, and I like the crust better than Costco.
It's a tier 2, but it is lower for me. Sorry, Jake, than Costco. It's just that last time really did ruin it.
The last time was bad.
I know.
I literally stood at the register with a woman with a line of probably, 12 people behind me while she could not figure out how to run my card.
Yeah.
And the thing froze. She tried switching machines. I was there more than 5 minutes.
It was a birthday card. It wasn't actually a credit card. You just can I pay?
She should still know how to do it.
Can I pay with this? Because Daddy doesn't like pineapple.
You can't give it up. You love it. But it's a smaller slice than Costco as well. So
smaller.
You're almost tempted to buy 2 slices to be full.
But they do have more of a variety, I think, too.
Almost.
They have that 3 meat pizza or something like that, and their pepperoni and their
Which
cheese.
is good. I always get the meat pizza.
Yeah.
So it's a tier 2.
Tier 3.
Okay.
But Jacob, did you give it a tier?
Tier 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I don't think it's great by any stretch. I just,
How many more do we got?
We got 1, 2, 3.
All right, let's jump through them.
Sbarro.
Jake, you can't comment because you didn't have the Sbarro. No, I told Jake not to get Sbarro.
We actually had a funny conversation about this because I'm like, what was it, yesterday? yesterday.
Yeah,
And
right.
I'm like, I haven't had Sbarro yet. I'll have to drive down to Salt Lake tonight in order to do this, for the integrity of the show, basically, right? And I'm like, is that so ridiculous? And we decided it was so ridiculous.
I actually made a point to go to City Creek Mall, the only remaining Sbarro around
They're
here.
dying.
And they used to be like the number one and everywhere, but they actually declared bankruptcy in 2011.
That's why.
And they
Okay.
started closing down.
Because it would be every mall.
To be fair, I did have this pizza a year or two ago, like when I was in the mall and
Sure you
really
did.
wanted pizza.
Sure you did. Okay.
A slice is
I remember it.
$3.79. And
I remember it well.
800 locations currently. But this is a tier 2 for me. And I say that because I was pleasantly surprised. It's a New York style, thin crust. But and when I saw it, when I went up there to order it, I was getting the last of the old pizza and I could see the new pizza just underneath it. And I'm like, oh. But then they took it and they put it through like a little Quiznos, little oven thing. It came out the other end. I got some pasta to go with it.
Yeah, your hour-old pizza was put through a microwave, essentially.
No, but it's a toaster oven. And so then it was the crispy crust, which I really like, a crispy crust. And I went, that's not bad. I mean, this is the low end of my tier 2, but it's a tier 2.
See, this was the place that when I was a teenager and I would take the bus to Leighton Hills Mall all the time.
Go to
Right?
Aladdin's Castle.
It's all Aladdin's Castle. I would every time get Sbarro because it was pizza. And I was a teenager. And when you're walking around the mall, just being a mall rat, you're hungry.
You want to eat the food that matches your face as a teenager.
Kind of. Oh, sad story.
Yeah.
And it's a vicious circle because it just, gives you zits.
Yeah.
Anyways, this pizza is no good. In fact, I went a couple nights ago and I did get a slice, but I was at City Creek and I went upstairs and I got a quality pizza and I brought it down. The pizza I got was like $8 and then I got a slice. So I spent another $4 on a slice and I ate maybe 4 bites of this
Really?
Sbarro pizza because, the difference was just insane.
Really?
It's fine, like you said. I like that it's thin crust, but it is old. You can tell it's been under the heat lamp for too long. The girl who was serving me, the cashier, was just like almost like I interrupted her day when I asked for a slice. She's like, "That's not in a combo." I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then all these people kept butting, and it was just because it's in a mall. Even
bad
City Creek,
experience.
it's a bad experience.
Okay.
And everything is just. I think that's the driest pizza you can get.
And we didn't get a full pizza. We
It's a tier
just
3.
slice. Okay, tier 3 for you, tier 2 for me.
And
try.
like we pointed out, I didn't have it. However, the last time I had it, I was walking through City Creek, really hungry. Pizza sounded really good. It had been many years since I'd had Sbarro. I'm like, I'll try it. I know it's not great, but I'll try it. I ate about half of it and threw it away.
Really?
It was terrible.
Well, I ate the whole thing, and then I ate the pasta.
Yeah, tier 3,
Okay.
Papa Murphy's.
Take and bake, and I helped.
That's shake and bake.
Same thing.
Papa Murphy's, $6 for a 14-inch large, and where's the locations? I
Should
lost
say
it.
Daddy loves Papa Murphy's.
1,425. No. Daddy likes Papa.
Here's the thing. I know people like this whole take and bake idea. I've always hated it
What?
because it's like you're paying the price that you normally pay for a pizza, but you do the work. And not only do you do the work, there's always the risk of burning the pizza.
And by doing the work, you mean putting it in an oven.
I'm so hungry right now. I think I'll order a pizza, which will take them 15 minutes to make. And so I can watch these teenagers put toppings on my pizza and then take it home, preheat the oven, wait for it to preheat.
You preheat it
then
on
put
the
it
way
in
home.
for another 15 minutes. I'm like, I'm not even
8
hungry
to
anymore.
10 minutes.
I'm
You've
not
got
even
a point.
hungry.
There's tons of friction
this
points on eating one of
bland
these pizzas.
pizza.
No. Bland?
Bland.
No.
The only thing good there is like specialty chicken pizzas, like chicken artichoke thin crust is
You're
pretty
insane.
good. No, I'm not insane. Their pepperoni is weak.
No. The faves are great. And you get the pumpkin-shaped one or the Valentine-shaped one.
Oh yeah, because I like going to wait in line because people go crazy for Papa Murphy's.
Why
at
do you
holidays.
wait in line? Why do you not just order it beforehand?
No,
Go pick it up?
anytime you go, like during a holiday, there's like an hour wait for a pizza.
No.
Yes.
No. I order Papa Murphy's fairly regularly.
And I'm not going to eat a subpar pizza. I may even change my tier based on how I'm acting right now.
yeah, apparently.
I'm not going to, just because it's in the shape of a pumpkin, doesn't make me want to eat a subpar pepperoni
It's
pizza.
not subpar, it's
that I have to
tasty
go
stuff.
home and cook.
How dare they
Do the
make you
work
cook
for
it?
me.
It's
I
not even
paid
the
you.
work. It's not even the work. You put it in the oven. They've made the pizza for you.
And it seems like
Give us your
it's-
tier.
what's your tier?
Give us your tier.
I put it tier 2, but I want to say tier 3. They are like addicted to olives too. They are like Jimmy John's.
You hate olives.
Jimmy
though.
John's to mayonnaise is Papa Murphy's to olives. Like you're like, hey, can I just get a cheese pizza? Sure. Blah, olives all over.
You're saying your daddy doesn't like olives?
Daddy won't eat olives on his fingers.
Oh, what?
I don't know.
I don't know where that went.
I do have to stick with my tier 2 because it is in the tier 2 realm.
Papa Murphy's, they really don't know how to coupon. Like their coupons pop in at 3 p.m. and it's like, hey, tonight there's the coupon for a deal. And then they, it's expired by then. And they don't really do a good job of that. They have a text message thing and they have an email thing. Neither one is really that good. And
they do the call-in thing as well, like everybody else. Like, what's the specials today?
Yeah, and calling in is fine. Their online ordering, I've had kind of bad experience with. They don't know. They don't got it done. They're improving. But initially, I hated online ordering. I tried it again recently, and it didn't go as well. It was fine, but it's just not a great experience.
They always
ordering.
feel kind of like they're a local franchise that doesn't really know what they're doing.
However, I think their pizza is delicious. I love the stuffed pizza. I love the faves. I love the cowboy. The dessert ones are actually pretty good too. They do great with gluten-free. The sides are good. This is a tier 1 for me, Ken.
Oh, for real?
Papa Murphy's is a tier 1. And I'm not just saying that because I have family that owns some franchises. But
I see.
no, that's actually extended family. And I love it whenever we hang out with them and they bring Papa Murphy's because I'm like, yes, Papa Murphy's, because this is tasty pizza. And I love being able to cook it myself because then I can make it a little more doughy or a little more crispy. If you get the stuffed, it's a little more chewy, but then you get the thin crust and you get it really crispy. Papa Murphy's is a tier 1 and it's delicious.
I think you should add that you also own a Papa Murphy's. So
I want to because they're good pizza.
Kent, Joel, you ready for this? Tier 1.
Yeah!
really?
Tier 1, yeah.
Kent's in the minority. Kent's in the minority.
No, so I had a friend in college when I first started eating Papa Murphy's a lot, and he hated it. And he was like, no, the crust is always soggy, and you have to do the work. And I totally saw his point.
Do the work. Are you guys complaining when you go to Winco and have to bag your own groceries?
Yes, that's the
so
worst.
lame.
That is the worst.
They have people for that at stores.
I don't even want to go shopping. Picking up my food is
You
terrible.
millennials afraid of work these days.
No, Papa Murphy's is so different. It stands apart from all the other pizzas because it tastes like fresh ingredients and it still tastes really, really good.
Yes.
And the Chicago stuffed one is awesome. It's so heavy and wonderful, and it satisfies like the bad for you pizza craving.
Yes.
While I can still get there's a spinach bacon artichoke, which is super
that's the
thin.
one. It's
that thing is
It's
freaking
tasty.
delicious.
That one is very good.
Well, and you talked before about how you hate when it's obviously old, been under a heat lamp. What is better than fresh out of your oven pizza? Like if there was some
fresh
sort of
pizza right out of the oven.
if there was
is the best,
sort of
if you're asking.
there's some sort of teleportation device where you could order these places and then it just goes straight to your oven and you get to pull it out. That would be the ideal because then it'd be ready to go. But I'll usually order the pizza online or on the phone. I'll go pick it up on the way home.
So 3 hours before you want to eat it, you order the pizza.
Well, I do. Oh, okay.
I'm going to stop messing around because it's decent, but
This isn't a 3 a.m. I need a craving. I got to go get a Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, that is not what it's for.
It's a plan ahead pizza. But then on the way home, I'll call the wife and be like, can you please preheat the oven? By the time I get there, it's ready. Stick it in, bake it, boom.
And most of them take 11 minutes or
8
something.
to 10 minutes for the thin ones, and I think it's actually 20 to 30 minutes for the stuffed ones.
No, it's not that long.
Yeah, I just did one last week.
You just did it? 20 or 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Man, that's a long time. But yeah, the stuffed one is so good.
It's 20, 30 minutes at $3.75.
But I'm with you, Kent. The pepperoni, meh.
Yeah.
That doesn't taste like a regular
and those are
pepperoni
the-
experience. But they have these
yeah,
other
I would
things.
never get a pepperoni there.
Like
Please.
their cowboy, I love. Mostly for
really
the
good.
olives.
You want some olives?
Cowboys are really good. But here's the thing.
Too bad.
There is a difference between the pepperoni pizza and the Faves pepperoni pizza because they do put a little less on the Faves. And if you just order like a pepperoni pizza, they'll put more pepperoni on. So now you know.
Yeah, anyway.
The more you know.
Like them a lot.
Tier 1, tier 1, tier 1.
All right, we have one left. And you guys know what it is.
Yes, we do. Because we have it in stories.
All right, so as Kent mentioned earlier, we all went to Chuck E. Cheese. Guys, three
grown men and a woman who's our driver / photo taker / escort /
/decreepizer.
Decreepizer.
It really, having Amy there really did make us seem less creepy because it was us and a bunch of moms with their kids, and we were sitting at a booth, a tiny little booth, just us four, all crammed together.
Where do we even start with this?
Okay, I'll start with when I had to determine if we could just go there and eat the buffet.
Okay.
So I call ahead. I don't remember the guy's name. I'll just say Chad.
Carl.
Was it
Call him
Carl?
Carl.
Okay, Carl. So I call up. Carl. I call up and I say, hey, do you guys have the adult buffet? And he's like, yes, we do. And I said, how much does it cost? And he tells me, by the way, Chuck E. Cheese, it's $14 for one of their large pizzas, and they have 590 locations. And I say, okay, what does the buffet include? And he says, well, it includes pizza and salad with tomatoes and hey, what's the green stuff we put in the salad? It's not kiwi. Cucumbers. It's cucumbers. We have cucumbers. And I'm just like, this is going to be terrible.
And as I recall from your, you can't take as long as you can telling the story because it was a long time.
It was a long pause.
Yeah. Trying to figure out what cucumbers were.
Then we got there and the pizza, it wasn't even a green salad. The cucumbers were the only green thing in the salad. The salad was like tan.
It was khaki.
The lettuce was beige.
Khaki salad.
But we get there and we all walk in, us three, grown men and our driver,
our decrepizer,
poor Amy. And we walk in, we're like, we'd like the adult buffet, and they give us our little wristbands and our little drink cups, and we had to go sit in this tiny booth. And then we ordered pizza.
Where we had no plates and there was no plates available. So we go back. We're like, where are the plates? And then they hand us a paper plate.
It's a paper birthday plate.
Single paper plate was all we were allowed. That's what we were allowed. And then I go back to sit. There's no forks. There's no silverware. There's nothing. We had to go back. And when I asked for mine, they didn't know where it was. The guy looked all over the place before finding me a fork.
And I'm sure Carl's very nice.
We did go to Chuck E. Cheese for the pizza, which I don't think they're used to. They're like, how many tokens you want?
Yeah.
That sort of thing. It's birthday party.
They have a buffet. They advertise it. It was there. They had that pizza. They had that at buffet, probably the same buffet sitting out for the last week or so.
It's so
probably the same pizza.
We got the pepperoni, but they also, the great thing about it is you could order specialty pizzas, and there are two specialties.
Yeah, you could order specialties, one of two.
Which to have the best experience, we did.
Yes.
Right. So they had the spaghetti pizza, which is basically spaghetti and meatballs on top of a pizza slice.
Now, lest you think it's spaghetti and meatballs, think spaghetti noodles with no sauce on top of a pizza with cheese and then a single Costco frozen meatball on top of it.
Delicious. Absolutely delicious.
It was terrible. It was
the
so
other one
tasteless.
was worse. The other one was
like SpaghettiOs
worse.
on a pizza would be better than what we had.
But then the other one,
which sounded really good,
was the spinach
it's
cheese.
like spinach Alfredo pizza.
Yeah, spinach Alfredo, I think is what it was.
And they call it like the California or something, didn't they?
Something like that.
Yeah.
But it has a white sauce, which we weren't sure.
I don't generally trust white sauces.
We weren't sure where cheese ended and white sauce began because it kind of melded together in this
the best part,
waxy-
I'm sure we'll probably have this picture up somewhere.
I'm literally
is
shuddering right now.
You
can put it up on Twitter or
Someone
something like
turned
that.
the pizza around and there was cheese kind of cooked onto the back of the crust.
That was my
and
picture,
the cheese looked like you melted a G.I. Joe action figure. It was like the most glossy thing I've ever seen.
Oh, man.
And it was funny because this was the only place where like when you're eating the pizza and really kind of hating life, the roof of your mouth gets this shell of just cheese.
Yeah,
and you can't get it
It's
off.
not cheese. It's
not
whatever
cheese,
that
it's like
is.
a coating or something like
It's
that.
a coating.
Yeah. It's like never in your life have you wanted to just eat broccoli because that would be 3 steps up from what you were eating.
Like, didn't you guys get a dessert slice, like a brownie
I did.
slice?
There
tried
was a
that.
cinnamon thing.
And it was
awful.
It was actually worse than the pizza.
It was so bad, and the pepperoni wasn't good either. And the salad was, I think they didn't even have ranch. Which who doesn't have ranch?
Anyway, again, we should emphasize, obviously Chuck E. Cheese is not made for pizza. Pizza is a side thing for Chuck E. Cheese.
But there was this great moment as we were just really hating our lives, thinking, where should we go to eat after we leave here? I remember Amy was getting food. She was at the buffet line, and all of a sudden the alarm bell started going off because they're like, it's almost time.
Follow Chuck E. Cheese and get free tokens or tickets.
Who happened to be Carl.
There were only 2 employees that were working that day.
We're pretty sure.
And Carl disappeared for a long time.
Yes. We're not saying that Carl was Chuck E. Cheese, but we did not see them together at the same time.
So, so all of a sudden, I have my back to this whole area, and I see these two just looking beyond me like it's something terrifying.
Well, because poor Amy is sitting there. She went up to the buffet, and she's starting to dish up, completely oblivious to everything that's going on around her. And all of a sudden, she turns around and faces this giant furry mouse walking towards her with a stream of children behind it, and she freezes like a deer in headlights and does not move. It does not know what to do in this situation.
And there's an awkward song, and there's kind of an awkward, Chuck E. Cheese mouse dance
going on.
Yeah, he's kind of like bouncing on one foot.
When
and
I
jumping
turned
to the
around
other.
and saw what you all were looking at and what Amy was in for, I actually got a little scared. Like, I was like, what's he going to make us do?
There was a moment of terror. There was for me too. It was
Like,
I
is he
don't know
going to
what's
make us
gonna
join
happen.
in the parade?
Yeah.
When he's throwing tickets to kids? Like, it was the weirdest thing ever.
Well, and then we went over after and sat by the animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and tried to get a picture with him, and it was just
That's right.
It was just awkward.
There were 8 kids and us.
There were. It was really
And
awkward.
mom's giving us all the shifty eye.
And if there isn't any doubt, it's a tier 3. This is the worst pizza I've had. Now, and I also want to say, if you're a parent who has a child who is celiac or gluten intolerant, they do a great job with gluten-free pizza. It's in a separate container with a separate pizza cutter. It's all contained in this bag that they put in the oven and cook in the bag. So it's very, very clean in that way. My wife had it, though, and she said the pizza was terrible. But to a kid, they don't care, and so they'd love it. So that's a positive, right?
Kids are stupid.
And apparently, not in Utah, but apparently across the U.S., they actually have bars in Chuck E. Cheese's. And so, like, the parents will go drop their kids off over in the play area, and then they'll just go sit at the bar.
That sounds like a really big mistake.
They've had a lot of incidences to the point where they've started thinking about maybe getting rid of the bars because they've had a lot of fights between parents getting drunk while waiting for their kids at Chuck E. Cheese.
How do you drive off from that?
It was exactly.
Seriously,
Hey,
though.
kids, let's leave the birthday party. It was, one of these things where Jake sent me the picture of the pizza like 3 hours after we ate it.
Right.
And I felt sick to my stomach.
This made me feel, out of all the pizzas we ate, guys, this made me feel the worst. This made me want to swear off pizza for a long time. It was bad. It was so bad. Tier 3.
Tier 3, obviously. It was the worst experience ever.
So that's it then. That's
yeah.
So just to run through, Ken, what were your tier ones again? Do you know, just off the top of your head?
My tier 1s are Papa John's, Domino's, Little Caesars. My tier 2, Pizza Hut, Costco, Pizza Pie Cafe, Papa Murphy's, Sam's Club. Tier 3 is 7-Eleven, Sbarro, and Chuck E. Cheese, where a kid can be a kid.
And then my top 3 were Papa John's, Papa Murphy's, and Little Caesars. The middle area was Domino's, Costco, Pizza Pie Cafe, Pizza Hut, and Sbarro. And the tier 3 worst were 7-Eleven, Sam's Club, and Chuck E. Cheese's. So, wow. Man, I honestly don't know. I'm going to still do the Friday pizza movie night, but I don't know how long it's going to be before I order pizza for lunch.
We now need a new goal because we've been working at this for so long just for this episode. I hope it was worth it.
Me too.
Because we said we want to plan an episode and see what we can do to kind of build towards that. So this is what we came up with. So I mean, if you have any ideas for new shows that we can do in tiering things and stuff like that, or even food ones, because we did fast food before, we did pizza this time, let us know at baconsale.com. Also, you can let us know on our Facebook page or on Twitter. We're at Baconsale. But yeah, you can find me, Joel, at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing at Quick Wits. They perform every Saturday night at 10 o'clock at the Midville Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to our Facebook page or go to qwcomedy.com.
You said it right.
I have a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Just, I did have a couple category questions, but I'm just going to limit it down to one. This is actually Mark's question. I thought it was a good one.
Wow, great. I'll do that after I say bye.
I tried to get you to stop. What pizza is the greatest cry for help? Like, you're one step away from just, jumping off a bridge or, whatever.
If you're ordering 7-Eleven pizza and if you're getting it like at, 4 a.m., call your mother and let her know that you love her.
Like, I know it's there. I know you're probably hungry and it's not going to be the worst thing you've ever eaten. But if you're sitting at home eating that with your, 52-ounce Mountain Dew, not that I've been there. You need help.
How many ounces is that one, Kent, that you're holding?
I forgot about the categories. I'm sorry, Jacob. I completely spaced on that.
No, I just want to do the one because I'm trying not to go too far over on time.
Yeah.
But no, those are good choices.
All right, so if you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's Kenny3DD. Go check out my face reviews on Instagram. Also, if you want to read my movie reviews, go to ShowtimeShowdown.com. Also, you can see me on TV, KJazz Channel 14, every Friday morning at 8:30.
Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. I had to go on in. All right, you can find me on Twitter at Jacob A. Rogers.
Until next time, Baconsale. It's almost time.
Follow Chuck E. Cheese and get free tokens. That's a positive, right?
Kids are stupid.
Oh, I don't like those chains. I love this pizzeria down the corner from me. You've never heard of it, but they serve the best pizza ever. So much better than you because of X, Y, and Z.
Is there Jewish purgatory?
Do hipsters go to heaven? Oh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, you're so handsome. What's up, bro?
How are you doing? I'm the pizza man.
Oh, gosh, that is creepier than anything I've heard so far.
Do they do it for adults?
Bad choice of words there, pal.
Wasn't that weird?
It was weird for me.
I don't know how much I want to get into the after effects of pizza. High calorie, high carbs, high fat, enjoy.
I'm robbing her of heart disease. Yeah.
Pizza Hut's on the case.
Bleh.
He was working there, and he really liked Kent. He couldn't quite figure out what was going on, and it was just the most awkward experience ever. As I did, for the most part, participate.
Well done, extra crazy. Will change your life.
Go tell my mom.
That looks really disgusting, but good on you.
I was nervous and afraid, and I was enjoying the heck out of it.
You guys want to see some abandoned crazy bread? And they know Daddy doesn't order pineapple.
Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. Here's your pizza. I brought your big gulp.
Daddy doesn't eat pineapple. Daddy won't eat all those. Daddy doesn't eat pineapple.
Can I pay with this? Because Daddy doesn't like pineapple. No.
Yes.
No. Because it was us and a bunch of moms with their kids.
It's so heavy and wonderful.
What's he going to make us do?
There was a moment of terror. There was for me, too.
Daddy doesn't eat pineapple.